Hey guys, I'm going to show you today how to do a rainbow resin flower. There we go. These are something new. They're one of my newer creations and people really liked them on Facebook. And when I asked what I should do a tutorial about next, these were the answers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just like with any of my other resin projects, I am going to be using ice resin for this. It's very good quality resin. I've been using it for a couple of years now. I'm also going to be using these little measuring cups that I've already marked off where they need to be filled to, because when you get the liquid inside of here, those lines tend to go away and it's easy to over pour. Okay, right now my resin is heating up, so I am going to go ahead and talk about what we're going to be using today. Working with rainbow is really messy. Any project that involves this many colors, it's going to get really messy. You want to use gloves. I'm going to be using gloves. You want to have paper towels on hand. You want enough little measuring cups or whatever you want to use. You're going to need 6 different cavities because you're working with 6 different colors. This was some mold for something I can't even remember. This was the container in some little pastries I got in the freezer section, and they came in these little cup things, so I went ahead and held on to them, and they're totally useful. So little measuring cups will work. Just use whatever you need to use. Sticks we're going to need to mix all of the different colors. We're going to need a mold as well. I made these flower molds and you could see what that actually looks like. I made these out of platinum silicone. If you have questions about molds, I have another video and it's mold basics, so feel free to check that out. And last but certainly not least, we are going to need glitter. I got these, it came in one of these containers. I got it at Walmart and it was super cheap. It was like $3. I have my resin all warmed up. If you don't understand why you need to warm it and all of that, please check out the first tutorial I've made and it really covers all of that. Warming it up is going to help with the bubbles. And in these types of things, it doesn't really matter a lot, but when you're working with a bezel and you want a crystal clear pour, you definitely want to heat up the resin, and that's just something I do regardless. It makes it easier to mix, it makes the bubbles disperse easier, so I just put it in hot water and heat it up. So that's done. Now we're going to measure. Gonna get my cup. I'm gonna fill 2 of these cups because I want to make a good amount. I think I'd like to just knock a bunch of these out right away and then be done with it for a bit because they are a task. So I'm gonna get those. I'm going to start with my resin. Oh, right there. Okay. So I'm gonna get down eye level with it. Let me get on the other side. Okay. All right. I want to get down, making a mess. Okay, I want to get down eye level with it, and I want to go very slow and let it catch up, and I don't want to over pour. If you over pour, your piece isn't going to cure right, and that's the last thing you want. If you're putting in this time and this effort, you want your piece to cure right. Now I'm going to do the hardener. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and put this second cup aside for now, and we're just going to focus on the one so we can get through this a little bit quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my resin up. All right, now for the messy part. I'm going to take my resin and I'm going to split it up into all of these little containers and get them ready to pour the glitter into. If you pour too much into one and didn't really pour enough into the other, I will just straight scoop out like this. And green and blue are very similar. If there was a little bit of green glitter up in here and it made it into this, it's not the end of the world. They're going to be right next to each other anyways when it's in the rows. I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to start to pour in my glitters. I don't really have a set amount to suggest. I pretty much just pour some in there, and when it gets the thickness and the opacity I like, I just run with it. Okay, now it's time for the part that can get a little bit hectic. Actually making the rainbow inside the rose. So what I'm going to do is start off with a slant. I have noticed really helps make this a little bit easier, so I take like a lighter or whatever. If you work with resin, a lighter is going to help you with bubbles. It's a handy thing to have around. So how I've been doing this is perching it up like that. So we have that area going on where I can put some of the pink into there and it won't start to spread around all crazy. Hold on. That could use some more color. Just start at the bottom and I'm going to just dollop some of this resin into there. You're gonna have to work fast because this stuff wants to start spreading out and you want room for all of these colors. So now we're gonna start with the orange and I'm gonna just glop it into the side and try to keep some kind of order and then just move on to the next color. And I know it's not filled up all the way and I'll show you why it doesn't matter at this particular point after I get through this craziness. I don't know where my green stick, that's my green stick. Okay, all right. Now we can go back and do a little bit of damage control. And how I do that is I'll get some, oh, I'm getting out of frame. Okay, I'll get some of the resin, I'll drop it, make a huge mess like that, and then I'll feed it into the side. So I'll scrape it and let it just kind of fall in there where it may, and it helps to guide it a little bit to where that pink already is. And then we're going to take orange, and that was orange's place, so we're going to just scrape it in like that. Okay, it's not empty like it was before, it's filled all the way to the top. We're going to take some of those bubbles out with the lighter, and now we wait. And I'm going to go ahead and do it again to show you what the heck was going on, because I know that was kind of crazy. So that's going to get put, oh, that's going to get put aside. This I noticed could be darker. So I'll just hold it like that. Dang, that was messy. Okay, now we're gonna put this guy to the side as well. And I am going to try to do it in a smaller mold. I have no idea how this is gonna go, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and leave these to set and cure and all of that. So tomorrow we will come back and I will pop them out of the mold and we'll see what happened. Maybe they look good, maybe they don't. I have no idea. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, so it's not the next day yet, but I got a little impatient and I want to see what these look like, and they are definitely hard to the touch. They're not cured the whole way, but it's okay if we take them out of the mold, and I want to see what happened, especially with the earrings. No clue. And then I took all the extra colored resin and kind of just glopped it all into here so we could take a look at that and see what's going on. Oh, so that one looks all right. No complaints there. This is our other one. That looks all right too. I could have put a little bit more glitter. I do see that it is kind of translucent and I would prefer it to be more vibrant, but that's not the end of the world. Now we're going to do the heart. And this was just feeding the glitter into the sides and letting it get all mixed up and all that. And that's a pretty cool effect. Might make something cool with that. I don't mind it. Now for the earrings. Let's see if that went okay. I added a post to them. I took some resin from another project and figured I would just take care of that real quick. I was going to make them dangle earrings, but figure I would try and make them post. So that's what's going on with that. It's all right. It's a little sloppy. I don't mind it. So there's that. Trying it in a smaller mold. Let's try the other one. Oh, and that one looks a little bit nicer, actually. All right, so there you have it. We made a glitter rose. We made this thing just kind of glopping stuff in. I encourage you to take your spare resin and do something similar. And I made some earrings and I kind of like them. So thank you for checking out my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe and all that goes with YouTube. Thank you so much and I hope you have a good day.